If you've always wondered how much could I actually get done in a week if I set my mind to it, like how much closer to my preschool dream could I be if I just did it, if I just followed through, if I stopped procrastinating, if I actually did the work? Well, today, my friends, that's what you're going to learn about. Welcome to the Preschool All Stars. I'm your host, Joy Anderson, and with me today is the beautiful Karla Nowak. Now, my friend, you are blowing my mind with what you've accomplished. But before we do that, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
So, before you found me, what was life like? I mean, you just barely came into my world a week ago that I know of. You've probably been in my world a bit, but what was life like before you found me?
Well, I actually worked at a local preschool, and I loved it so much. I've always wanted to be a teacher. And college really wasn't my thing. So it was hard, to step back from that. I've always taught dance, though. I've always kind of had that back in the back of my mind, like, what would it be like to start a performing arts preschool? Like, I would love that. But I never thought it was possible. I don't have a teaching degree, nothing like that. So, after I was let go from the preschool due to budget cuts, I was so sad, missing those kids terribly. And you just popped up on my Facebook with your free book. I'm like, you can't go wrong with a free book. If it turns into nothing, then it was free. It's not like it cost me anything. So it was just, I read the book in like 5 days. And I was very impatiently waiting for you to open the All Stars so that I could get everything done. But in the meantime, I actually started my preschool because I had one of the kids from the preschool that I was at reach out to me and say that they were looking for another preschool. Did I have any recommendations? And I'm like, actually, me.
Oh, that's amazing. So, not only have you obviously jumped into Preschool All Stars now, but hold the front door. You started your preschool with my book. Is that true? Like you got my book and that gave you everything you need to start your preschool?
Yep. So because I wasn't able, to be in the preschool all stars, I had to do some of the stuff on my own. Like I did my own website, I did, my own phone number, things like that. But switching over to the hub was super easy. So it was, seamless to be able to switch over and move all that in there. But that was pretty much really the only things that I had to do myself that weren't in your book.
Yeah. So let me ask you then about that, because I mean, you got my book and then therefore you started your preschool and you had students and you're like rocking and rolling, but there was something still apparently missing because you joined Preschool All Stars. So what was going through your mind? Why join Preschool All Stars if you already had your preschool?
Well, you offer so much. You offer a website, you offer marketing, the flyers that are done for you. You just have to edit to what you need. And the emails that go out automatically, payment system. And then you also include if I, grow, which is my plan, I can do payroll with you. And like, it's all there in one spot. Plus you also get, your sistars who will respond in a second. Like you need something, they're there. Like there's no waiting around when you have a question.
Yeah. This is amazing. And honestly, this last week we did something which we've never done before, which is to put you in a group with, 5 or 6 other sistars that are brand new, as well as 2 big sistars who are your mentors, right? Who are kind of there just to be in the background, guide you, be there if you have that question, just kind of bring in our all-star group and bring it even smaller into this like smaller, what we call a Sistar Circle. Tell me about that experience this past week, because we've never done this before.
I haven't really engaged a lot in the Facebook chat because I've been trying to get my hub done. But there's like people who are asking questions that I didn't realize I had. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good question. Now I don't need to ask it and I have the answer.
And what does it feel like just knowing like, hey, a click away, I've got this even smaller group of women that I can just reach out to and be with.
Oh, it's fantastic. And like I said, they're so quick to respond. And because there's other new people, they're thinking of questions that you don't think about.
Yeah, I love that. So, you kind of came into my awareness. I mean, obviously you came in as a brand new all-star, but then I started seeing you post in the group. You had your website down. I was like, rock on. You're clearly, making moves. You're going through the guides. I love that. I love people who take action. Like I'm a doer myself. So when people show up as a doer, I'm like, let's go. Right. But then I started seeing you like knocking out the other hub guides. And I'm like, whoa, Nelly, like, holy cow, you're already working through the hub guides. Like you might even be done with the hub by the time 7 days go by. This is insane. I've never had this before. So let's take a step back. I did message you. Do you remember the message? I said, okay, this is amazing. You're working through like all the other hub guides, but did you complete the 30-day challenge? So that was a good conversation to have because you're like, well, I think I already did it because I have my preschool. I did your book, right? So
Yeah.
what did you realize in that process though, that maybe there's a couple things we might have not known were in the guides?
So I did the 30-day challenge with the book. But what really brought to my attention was that seven
The
two to 7 days.
7 days. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not technically part of the 30-day challenge,
Right.
but that's what really brought it to me and being able to say, hey, be a founding family. And actually, because of that, I got a new student.
Love that. That's amazing. One thing I'm just going to give you a tip right now because you're on with me. I looked at your founding family script and there's one thing I would have said to do differently. You put your link in the comments, which is don't do that. So for future, and what's really cool is you can actually repost your link. You don't have to repost, but you can share your link into the group on that founding family post. We'll go all give it some love and try to boost that post back into the world, even though it's been already out there for a couple days, but I would remove your link because the call to action is going to be send me a DM, or let me know in the comments if you're interested. Then that's going to spark the conversation. It's going to spark more comments and things like that, which is going to spread it even further.
Which I actually haven't gotten anyone from the website.
Yeah.
I've gotten like tons of interest from that post, but they're all sending messages on Facebook.
Nice. But the tip on the website is if we put a website link there, it almost like makes it look like an ad. Makes sense? So we take off the website and now it's just like, oh, we're just having a fun conversation. Haha, secret,
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So tell me about your process coming to the hub because you had already set up a website. You did it on Wix or Google Pages or?
Yes, I did it on Wix through Vistaprint.
Okay.
I was familiar with Vistaprint. I've made a couple websites on there.
Yeah.
So the process has changed completely. It was way harder than what I remember.
So it was coming into the hub. What did it feel like to make a website in the hub?
So much easier.
Yeah.
So much easier. It was all done for me. And really, I had to change like 5 or 6 things.
Yep.
And that's just because I wanted it super customized to my colors.
Yeah.
But that's really what took me the longest was customizing it to my colors. If I would have just left it, it would have taken me like 10 minutes.
That's awesome. A website in 10 minutes. Nice.
Yeah. Because you change like 5 sets of words and you're good to go.
Yeah.
And it's perfect. It's tells you everything you need to know. And there's a lot of stuff that I didn't have in my website. And there was a lot of things that didn't need to be on my website that I had them.
Yeah. Love that. Well, that's awesome. Well, now that you've been here, are you finished with your hub? I know that you were like 1 step away from being done. Did you finish or not quite yet?
I'm completely finished. I was like, I am tapping out of family time. I'm going to finish my hub before this meeting.
Yeah.
That is my goal. I'm getting it done.
Now, there's got to be something said because we have obviously a lot of sistars here in our group they've been working on their hub for quite some time. And sometimes it does take some focus time, like, okay, let's take an hour without distraction or 30 minutes or something like that to do a guide. But as they come to the website, sometimes they feel like, oh, it's never going to be done because, it kind of just is always this thing that needs to get done. For
Yeah.
you chose to be done. You chose to be like, I'm getting it done. I'm putting in the time now. So I don't have to have weeks, months, possibly years, because some of our Hub All-Stars have been here for a bit and haven't, finished yet.
Finished it.
Right. And have that feeling on you of like, I still need to get it done. So what
I
would you
hate that
say?
feeling so much.
What would you say to our All-Stars who are like, man, I just got to get this Hub done? What would you say to them?
I mean, once you finish the training, I'm going to be honest, it's kind of a lot.
It is a little bit of a lot, but
yes, it really does everything for you.
Yeah.
With the automated emails and the website, the payments, it's everything all in one. It also does texting for you and like calling. It's all through the Hub, and you got to get through those slides. I can't remember what you call them, the slides, to learn how to use it. Once you learn how to use it guides. Yeah. Once you learn how to use it, it's very user friendly. But sometimes I like to just learn things on my own.
Yeah, sure.
This is not that. Don't learn it on your own. Just go through the guides, learn it, go in order. Don't be jumping around. Because I did that a little bit. I went between a couple and I'm like, nope, I need to stop doing that.
Right.
Because I was just trying to get so much done at once. And I'm like, I just got to go in order, and it will teach me everything I need to know. Because I was like asking questions that you then answered.
Right.
If I would have just went in order.
In the guide. Yeah.
So it did take a lot of time, and I feel like I could have got it done faster if I didn't have a family.
That's okay. I mean, I think most of us have families.
Right. But, I have little kids, toddlers who are constantly in need of things. So it was do a little bit here, stop, do a little bit here, stop. And I just left all the tabs open on my computer so that I knew where I was. If I was in the middle of a video, I just paused it, left it open so that I could return to exactly where I was. And I was not losing.
Great tip. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. Well, I had a tab open of the Facebook guides. I had a tab open of what the Canva slides. And then I had a tab open of the Hub, and then a tab open of your video, all so I could see it all.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, we are super proud of you. So we have literally just proven you can get the Hub done in a week, even with a family, and even as a complete newbie to our system. So, and I'm going to give a little tip to my 120 amazing women who are on this call right now. What I want to tell you is this. It's not just to set up your website, and set up your business management software. That's cool, but that's not actually the secret purpose to the guides. The secret, if that was the case, I would have literally done 95% of the work for you and just said, here, just give me your Stripe card, and I'll just give me these things and I'll plug it in for you. And I just hand it to you. Done. Here's the problem with that. You don't know actually how to use it. You don't know if you're going to break it. You don't know how to change something. You don't know how to improvise. Oh, I want to add a different class. Oh, I want to add a different product cost or a different membership offer. You don't know because you don't know where in the system it is. So the secret portion of our Hub training, guys, is to train you on how to actually use the Hub as you set up your own preschool business. Because once you learn once, and this will go true for anybody in our All-Stars who is doing multiple businesses or a different business, once you learn how to use the Hub once, you can replicate what you've learned for any business in the future. Do you get that, right? Karla, do you have any, you have dance, right? You have this passion for dance. Do you have a dance business as well?
I don't. I've always dreamed of opening a dance studio, and maybe that may one day happen. I'm really focused on my preschool, and I want to incorporate that dance aspect into my preschool. But I would definitely be able to add that, so easily in the Hub. It's all so easy, and I can have all of my websites there at the same place.
Yep, totally. And that's what I love is we're really empowering you to create more income in the future, regardless of whatever business it is. You can do it in the hub, which is so cool. Well, Karla, we're so proud of you.
Thank you.
Any last words? If somebody's on the fence about joining Preschool All Stars, what would you say to them?
Oh, do it. It's so worth it.
You're amazing. Well, go to preschoolallstars.com and get on that early bird list so we can get you in the next time we open. Thanks, Karla. You're awesome.
Thank you.